We know of one particular chemical mark that gets changed over time, and that's what we call the epigenetic clock.
Well, it started early in life. When I was a kid, I wanted to do something that would keep my family healthy and around for longer. And I think all kids don't want their parents and grandparents to get sick. I just made it a mission of mine, and it evolved into a mission to save humanity from suffering and disease. We would do a good job of it for individual diseases, but for some reason, we have this mental block that it's okay to address one disease, but if you address most of them at the same time, there's something wrong with that, as though we're supposed to just let aging occur. But we have a lot of science now that says that aging can be slowed and even reversed. So I think we're going to be treating aging in the not too distant future the way we treat cancer and heart disease now. Readers understood that in the future, we are going to have a choice about how fast we age. Already, there are ways to live your life and even drugs that are on the market that have a very high likelihood of slowing down the aging process. And we're on the cusp of having technologies that can literally reverse your age. And so the idea that we have to be sick in our 80s and 90s is going to go away pretty quickly within our lifetimes. That aging is malleable. We can control it. Only 20% of our health in old age is due to genetic factors, and the rest is how we live our life. And we can measure this clock. It's literally measuring chemicals that change on our DNA, and we can read that. My lab has just brought the cost down 100-fold for this test, so we'll be offering that to people. I don't know if you, Vikas, would like us to test you.
I would love to.
All right, well, sign up.
Yeah.
It's drsinclair.com. Maybe I'll bump you towards the top of the list. I think we already have 80,000 people signed up.
Wow, amazing.
In the last few days. The good thing about this test is that it tells you how old you are biologically, not chronologically. And that number, it's similar to your credit score. It's one number to rule your health in the future. And here's the really good news. That number can be changed. If you smoke, if you don't exercise, if you just eat a lot of bad food, that number will accelerate faster. And conversely, if you do the right things and even take some medicines, you can slow that down and we think even reverse that number. And it all comes down to information, which in what I call the information theory of aging. That is that clock that we measure. We're discovering how is it that some animals can live for 300 years, the bowhead whale, for example. And if they can do it, we can do it. We can engineer our bodies, we can make medicines that do this. We recently published in the journal Nature in December 2020 that we could turn on 3 genes that are normally only switched on in embryos. And when we put those into adult animals, mice, we could reverse the age of their complex tissues. And we used this system to restore eyesight to old blind mice. And so it's not too far away, certainly within our lifetimes, perhaps 5 years away, where we will be reversing the age of the body. We'll start with the eye and turning the clock back. And when you do that, what you find is that tissues and organs that are dysfunctional with aging come back to life and work perfectly again. Oh, 100%. This is the key aspect, is that aging is not something separate from Alzheimer's or heart disease. the leading cause of those diseases is the aging process, which we can now control. And it turns out, based on what we're doing in my lab and a few others around the world, that if you turn the clock back, those diseases go away. And this is the revolution, that we've been working on a Band-Aid system trying to fix diseases that are already there while ignoring the main cause of those diseases, which is the ticking of that clock. I really disagree with the idea that we won't have purpose if we live longer. We have no problem living twice as long as people in the Middle Ages on average.
Yes,
I think that living longer gives life more purpose. It means you can achieve more. You can help your kids more. You can, leave a legacy. You can change careers. It is going to be a very different world. There are people who are now able to reverse the age of their body, at least anecdotally at this point, by a decade. My body, if you measure it, comes out at least a decade younger than I actually am. I'm 51, almost 52. And so we will be in a world where people can turn back the clock by decades. When that happens, we're going to have a lot more options in life. I think we're going to have much better life because we won't be sick and we won't be worried about getting cancer when we're 60 or 70 or 80. But we will have a planet where we need to change the way we view old age. 80 is not going to be old anymore, nor is 90. And my father is a good example. He is 81. He started a new career at 76. He is as fit as he was when he was in his 30s. Wow. And he's healthy and happy with no diseases whatsoever. He and I do certain things that we think are helping our health. And he's a shining example of what life can be in your 80s if you do the right things. I think that even if we could live 1,000 years, life would still be too short for many of us.